This is how we do the job right without cutting corners, but saving a hell of a lot of cash when we're the ones footing the bill. This is a complete guide on how to knock this out yourself. We've all seen the signs of a shot turbo. The customer complains about low power, but we know what to listen for. That dentist drill whine under load, or the classic James Bond smokescreen out the back from failed seals. Or maybe you just have some persistent under boost codes that won't clear. We all know these symptoms mean one thing, and ignoring them is not an option. All right, let's get into it. Battery disconnected, obviously. Get the plastic engine covers and the intake plumbing out the way to make some room. You also want to remove this bar so you can get access to the fan so you'll have more room from the bottom. Removing that fan wasn't too bad. It was a little tight, but that's okay. Now it's time for me to remove the intake plumbing. These plastic parts are known to break and be very brittle, so I would recommend just to take your time when you remove these. Underneath, get the belly pan off and drain the oil and the coolant. Now let's lift this truck up. To get a better view of everything, I usually take off the passenger wheel, remove the axle, and remove the plastic so I have better access to the turbo and all the oil and coolant lines that associate with it. This wheel was fighting with me and definitely didn't want to come off, but it did not help that I forgot to grab the wheel lock, but I did end up getting it off with a rubber mallet. I mean, this wheel was definitely stuck on there, but I made it happen for it to come out. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, taking these plastics out takes some time and you just have to be patient. All those 8mm, there's about 310s. If you drive a foreign car, you definitely know about the shields, but hey, they have to be there for a reason, and you don't want all that dirt and gunk in your engine bay or on your engine. Here you can see the ease of access to the turbo. The axle still has to be removed, but you get the point. When taking these shields off, it might be a good idea just to clean them up, have them fresh, so when you put them back on the car and you see any oil leaks or coolant leaks, it'll be easier to find than with them dirty. This is also a good time to take a look at your suspension, your tires, just go over the whole vehicle just to make sure it's in good shape and you won't have further problems down the road. Now, I'm not sure if you guys noticed this, but we did redo the shop, and let me tell you guys, it was not fun. We had to repaint the walls, buy the LED lights. I mean, the LED lights weren't too bad to install, but that one that's hanging in the top left corner took forever to put up, and I would probably never do it again, honestly. But painting all the walls from white to black, it was kind of a pain, I'm not gonna lie. But I will say it was worth it because the shop looks way better now. Okay, let's speed this up because you guys get the point of the shields. I'm not sure if anyone does this, but me, I usually remove the intercooler just for more space. I feel like it's just easier on me. Now, when you pull the intercooler out, just make sure you pull these before you pull the intercooler out. If you try to take the intercooler out with these in, it's really tight. Like between this area right here, this area right here. So it's easiest just to pull these out. It'll save you a lot of time. Downpipe is removed, motor mount is removed, engine is supported, took the axle out as well. Now the post mount for the motor mount has to come out. I'm telling you guys, this job is not an easy job to tackle. If you do this job yourself, please take your time because you have to remove all of these parts. Doing this job, make sure to bring an extra raincoat because you will get some coolant on you. I did make a mess down there. We are making some progress. We took the motor mount, post mount out. Now it's time to take the turbo coolant line and oil lines off, and then we could do the exhaust manifold bolts next. Yes, guys, I have to show you this again. All of these parts have to come out no matter what, just so you could take the turbo out. So take your time and be careful. This is the satisfying part. Old turbo next to the new one. Look for any evidence of fin damage or oil cooking. This is your proof. There you have it. The turbo is out. That's the hardest part of the job done. You've gotten yourself past the point of no return and are well on your way to saving a pile of cash. If this breakdown helped you get this far, hit that subscribe button. You've done it. You stared into the abyss where your N55 Turbo used to live, and now you're holding a brand new shiny snail that costs more than your first car. This is the moment of truth. The point of no return is in the rearview mirror, and the only thing standing between you and the glorious boost is a pile of bolts you swear has multiplied overnight. This is how we get it all back together, turn that pile of parts into a running car, and save enough money to consider buying another questionable project. After hours of fighting, swearing, and sacrificing your knuckles to the German engineer gods, the old turbo is finally out. Let's not mix words. That was a nightmare. I mean, just look at all the parts we had to remove just to get to the turbo. It was not an easy journey. But for some reason, looking at both of these turbos side by side, it is so satisfying. But this just reminds me that the job is not done and the job is not finished. We still have to take this turbo and install it into the vehicle without any issues or leaks. Comment below if you think you could tackle this job on your own. Now, when prepping the turbo, you want to remove all the old oil lines and replace them with brand new ones from your local BMW dealership, or you can go the aftermarket route, but you want to be careful with those because some of those aren't made up to OE standards. So you just want to be careful when you're buying parts for your BMW or any foreign car. Now, as you can see, I've been fighting with this one oil hose. These things are pretty stuck in there, but just take your time. These things take a little bit of time to come out, a little prying. What you don't want to do is bend the lines, so try not to use any pliers or anything like that. What I usually do is use a little flathead, pry it out a little bit and then just wiggle it out. Now, I can't say this enough. Every single bolt you take out, please just hand tighten them. These bolts are very sensitive and very soft. So if you use any mechanical tool, there is a high risk of stripping the hole. You're staring at the empty space where the turbo used to be, a shiny new turbo in your hands, and thinking the hard part is over. Let's make sure this installation goes much smoother and get you back on the road. First, after all that work, get your surface spotless. You didn't go through all that pain just to have a tiny piece left behind cause a massive exhaust leak. Next, a sanity check. Place your new and old turbo side by side. Make sure you receive the right part before you go any further. Now, I placed the turbo here just to show you guys that you can get it in, but you have to do it from under the subframe. It is a little tight. There's no way to get it in through the exhaust side. Don't even try it. Trust me, it's just gonna be a headache. Now here is the turbo, well, the new turbo mounted up on the engine block, but for some reason it just looks so good. I don't know what it is. I think it's just something about a new turbo on the car with everything else new with it that is just satisfying. Here's a better look from the passenger side wheel well. Now you guys want to be patient when you put this turbo in. It is a little heavy, but I'm pretty sure you guys go to the gym, so I think you'll be fine. Connect all the connectors to the turbo. Now, when installing these turbo lines, you want to make sure you take your time and always, I mean always, lubricate the O-rings that are on the hoses or the lines. Me personally, I think this is the most crucial part because if one of those O-rings pinches, you will be back in the same position you were in when you removed the turbo. Now, next up is the coolant water pipe. This pipe connects to the engine block, the water pump, and to the oil thermostat on top of the engine. And there's another O-ring. Do not forget to lubricate it. After the water pipe, now it's time to install the water pump. One side connects to the water pipe and the other side connects to the thermostat. This is how the engine stays cool. Give me a second, guys. A customer stopped by for a vehicle diag at our shop. I just took some time to look at it. Sounds pretty good. And I like this carbon right here. This is nice. Oh, and it's on the dash too. This is pretty snazzy. Okay, back to regular programming. So I did install the water pump, as you guys can see here. Also, the water pipe is there as well. You can't really see it. It goes over the turbo manifold. Now that we have that in, we can install the axle and the intercooler. Also, Don't forget these clips right here, they're for the intercooler. If you watched the last video, you know about these. Now let's take a look. We have the catalytic converter here, but we have all these other parts. I want to install the catalytic converter, but I can't because I have the motor mount and the post mount that I have to put in first. So the post mount goes first, then the motor mount. After, I could finally install the cat. The axle can be one of the last things installed, like the video. Okay, so let's break it down. I have the cat installed, the post mount installed, and the motor mount with the axle installed. Not too bad, not too bad. Oh, another thing, if you watched the last video, you know about this clamp. And there you have it. You've battled the German octopus in its lair and emerged victorious. The engine's running and you saved a fortune compared to a dealership trip. Money you can now spend on more car parts, obviously. If this guide helped you survive the ordeal, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching and go enjoy that hard-earned boost.